to the clinic last week about your schedule availability. How are you doing?
Okay.
Any updates, anything that is happening in life in the last couple of weeks?
The FBI started poisoning the milk at the store again.
Milk at the store. Okay, let's break this down. So if they're poisoning all of the milk, they probably doing it on the basis of the factory when the milk is getting, filled in the bottles.
I would have no clue. I would have no idea what the process is, but I do know that it's poisoned.
And what is their reaction that you have to think that?
Well, it's been happening. I don't know what reaction should I be having because, as before, I was averse in talking about it. Now, not so much. So I'm sort of surprised that not everyone's reacting by labeling me as completely crazy. And I'm also sort of nervous that, this could be pulled on me any instant, because I'm talking to my therapist here and maybe she'll have me institutionalized or something. But I don't want my son drinking poisoned milk. I don't want him going to the school with these people that live in this community with this poisoned milk. And that's about where I'm at right now. If if something else happens to me to where, I start mouthing words of obedience and submission to the system, then I guess that will happen. But for now, I feel confident in my statement, and I don't know what to expect.
When we're talking about the poisoning, it would happen probably on the level of the factory when the milk is getting delivered with the substance itself, probably. And there will be many, many, many cases of complaints or increase like an epidemic situations where different people will have the same reaction to the symptom. When you get your milk, have you tried to get it from different stores or is it the same store?
We've been through this. I just think this whole situation is obnoxious. And right now where it's at is I'm thinking, is this like completely not possible for a forensics team to investigate my statement? Because also we're being ignorant of a lot of other obvious things that are going on, which I'm not gonna go and point out the obvious, but why should the FBI be involved with my life at all? And they know who they are.
If something happened, you think lately that made them to act this way to make them be more active?
Well, they were poisoning us for the past how many years now? For the past 7-8 years. So you should be asking me, did something happen that they let up for a few weeks? And that I don't know about. I think it's maybe something happened. I don't know what happened that they let up for a few weeks. But again, if you are concerned with how I feel about it, it's it's sort of stressful, but when something good happens, it's always good. It's not, I wouldn't consider this bad that they let up. I consider it bad that they started again, because I'm not one to trust just because you let up on me for 2 minutes. I know they're into this fucking torture techniques. It just, it's all very dastardly and obnoxious to me. So sometimes I try to alleviate myself and just be like very emotional and uncivilized as they have been, you know. But obviously, I don't even have the resources to do to them what they do to me.
Well, we can definitely try to explore getting to, say, another part of the city where you are not.
I don't think that would work. And also, I feel like, why should I have to move?
No, not to move.
I've been moving. When I moved here to Crown Heights from South Bronx. I expected better behavior, and yet that did not happen.
Ilona, I mean specifically to get tested to see the poison in your blood, so you will know.
I've done that. They will not find anything. I've done that. They will not find anything.
Okay. Have you done
They need to test not my blood, because I'm tired of giving my blood. They need to test the evidence. They need to test things that are professionally canned and bottled. They could send in a police officer to these stores that I've mentioned, and I've mentioned it to the police themselves, but they have not done that yet. So I feel like it's ignorance. It's systemic ignorance, because somebody wants to feed the money machine, and they're doing it wrong, because society will collapse once you overstep these trust boundaries. So now, to keep people's faith in things like nutritional labels, what would have to happen? Because I know I've reached out to enough people inside the FBI for them to believe me. I feel like somebody ought to be punished. I don't know what I will have to go through, because again, not necessarily that these people are so emotionally vested in my persons, but a lot of people that do work for the FBI, they still believe in things like nutritional labels and people's civil rights.
We can't avoid the fact that things are done on certain order. So before getting milk tested and giving it to forensics, it needs to be done and proved for sure that something is in your system for a long time.
That is so fake, Anna. I don't believe you. If this is like, your way of trying to dominate me and manipulate me, I suggest you use force, because again, I told you how I feel about it. I feel like I would be stressed if you did choose to institutionalize me and you sent someone to my home, but I'm not I'm not able to fight that. I'm one woman, and we'll see the repercussions of this, because I know I am not lying, and maybe somebody actually cares about civil rights, somebody cares about civil duties, and somebody cares about what's in the food, instead of intimidating people with their protocols.
If you are refusing to take any active steps in doing something with it, if you're just staying home and thinking that someone should investigate it, how is it supposed to be done? I don't understand.
How's what supposed to be done?
The whole research, the whole interrogation of, people that are delivering this milk. How do you think this milk is supposed to be searched? The factory or vendors, whoever, if you are not going to do anything and prove that there's something wrong with it.
There's something wrong with New York, because I happen to think, I'm not the first case, but maybe things are happening now, and you people are going to be unlucky, because this will get prosecuted. Because I happen to think positively, whatever you're writing in your book about me, I happen to think positively that maybe this will get prosecuted, this will get pushed through. I don't know what I have to live through, and I am a human being, and I do have my own emotions, and to put me through shame and pain with putting pills in my food and in my child's food, that could be a volatile situation again. But I don't know how to beg people for mercy that are complete and utter pigs and merciless.
Okay, for example, putting pills. Have you tried to cook food at home? Because when it's getting processed,
I do cook
at high
food.
temperature, a lot of things will evaporate and not affect you. Something that you can make at home.
Do you want to get too ridiculous and just waste another 20 minutes? I had bought a meat grinder. This was what I was doing because my child was lacking proteins. All these years I've been ignored. It's not like I didn't tell people at the FBI, at the police what was going on. I've been ignored for some reason. Lucky or not, you know what, time will tell. You know, because I'm sitting here like in limbo, still thinking that something will happen and I'll turn out the hero. But who knows? Who knows with this media today? Who knows with all this corruption what's going to happen? Because a lot of people, they like getting theirs and they don't really think about the repercussions. They don't really think about the civil society that they're supposed to serve with the money that they're taking from their ATM, being so-called FBI agents.
I also wanted to circle back to when you shaved your head. First it was eyebrows, then the head. I do believe that there was something that was activating this behavior.
My
Something that
shampoo.
pushed you to it.
My shampoo. Thank you for noticing. My shampoo, which I've been talking about for years. Somebody's putting stuff in my shampoo. My hair is falling out. My hair is falling out, and my hair is not that big of a deal. It's a bigger deal for me to try to pretend that it's not falling out than to say, okay, I'm going to focus on what's real, and that would be my immediate health, my physical health, and not my, emotional, vanities.
Because you see, when we are emotional, emotions are not really allowing us to be rational at the moment. That's why one thing, it's like a domino effect, one goes after another. The more tired that your food is not the same quality as you want it to be, and that your shampoo is messing up with your hair and you can see it, and you're just getting tired, and then it's the domino. One falls, and another falls, and so on and so forth. But how is
Do you ever feel like you're in service of a dystopia? Do you ever feel threatened by this notion that you could end up on the other end of the table? You could be the one that's being sort of interrogated and your emotions being questioned and you being led to question your own validity? Because honestly,
why would I be thinking about it?
because I'm telling you like that it's the shampoo and it's the food, it's not me, and you're saying there's something wrong with me and my emotional reaction to any of this.
I'm not saying that something wrong with you. I'm saying that there was something that activated the behavior, and one after another, you took the action. I'm not saying
What behavior?
That's what I'm trying to put your attention to. The problem is that whatever I'm trying to ask or say, you're putting some other words in my mouth, and this is not what I'm saying. And those strategies are not going to work with me, because I'm asking what I'm asking, and I know what I'm asking. And you're saying, oh, you think something wrong with me. I don't. You say what you say. It's your right. And if you don't want to talk, we also have been talking about it. The service does not have to do anything without your other services. This is voluntary. This is your choice. You think? I don't think that I will be on another side of the table and be interrogated for my thoughts and feelings. The answer is no. And I don't know why you think I would think so.
I wouldn't know, but sometimes, you know what, just for the obvious, like, what else are we supposed to talk about here? Like, you're accepting this as what now? Because I don't expect your honesty, even if you were just a therapist, but you're accepting this for how long that I'm saying the FBI is harassing me, Are we accepting this, that they are harassing me, or are you pretending they're not? Just as your statement, could you make a statement as to this?
mean, if you are not accepting this, you need to take actions. The person who's
I'm not
taking
accepting
action-
their harassment. I know they're harassing me though. I know.
The question is still the same. What are the actions that you do to explore, to have facts, to have proofs that this is what's happening to them as well? Is there a case? Is there
To who?
a folder where you have
It is
results
happening
that you
to
say
who as well.
prior-
That's why I'm talking about a dystopian society, because they're like emotionally irresponsive and they're bureaucratically irresponsive. So what now, like, of what value are half of these people? I don't really see it. Are you gonna medicate me and tell me that I'm wrong when their intelligence is so low and they are so destructive? They're destructive to our commerce, basically, by polluting this food. They're destructive to the trust of the citizens, which is I, in mine. Of what value are these people? I don't understand.
Well,
It's like a giant
you know
fucking
the
gang.
difference-
It's like a giant fucking
Do you know
gang,
the
Anna.
difference?
I hope you're not in it.
Do you know the difference between opinion and fact?
Well, I'm not in third grade. What statement would you like to make?
No, like that you said statements that you're saying that you are not being treated well and your food is poisoned and someone's trying to do something. That's your opinion. That's not fact because there are no proofs of that you can.
It's a fact that
bring
has
something.
not yet publicly been validated. That's different from an opinion.
When was the last time you've been trying to bring attention of the forces to that? Or had some tests done?
Like last week, I stopped to talk to a parked police office, to two police officers that were parked on the corner of my building. Last week I tried doing this. I figure I might as well talk to them if in the end, like, I'm saying this in the end, like, I don't want to be like, thinking negatively like this, but if indeed, like, somebody who tries to question my sanity on these matters, they would have to call in enforcement. So, I mean, it would be one of theirs, supposedly. Supposedly they work in teams just as FBI works in teams, but who knows, honestly.
Since that is affecting your everyday life, what's going to happen with you guys in summer? Are you planning to stay home for the whole summer, or do you go out? Are you planning to visit some friends at least a little bit to maybe hopefully get some better food options? Is there anything that looks like an opportunity or something else for more healthy options?
What's going to happen after the summer? I mean, we survived last summer and it was fine. So what about this summer, and then what's after the summer? It's just that, my kid is like starting to mature, and it's sort of like really, really disgusting. And I feel like, not all the blame is being pointed at me in this situation. I feel like it might look like it to like whoever is like not been very involved investigating this case, but there are people that have been here long enough to say, wow, what can we make of this? And I'm just hoping for those people to be kind and really think about, American values.
There's a lot about other people who some of them should take an action, but what about you? What are you planning to do?
I'm doing summer school with my son because he fell behind because of this renovation for sure. And I'm doing summer school with him as best as I can.
Have you considered enrolling him in like a summer camp program or something with you?
I don't want to.
Have you tried something in the past? Because they have pretty good programs for the youth, even in the like on the basis of Bronx Works or YMCA.
I don't even know how to like answer this at like this point because I start to automatically like in my mind, because I'm a friendly person, my mind starts to respond to these questions like in times when I felt more loving and hopeful. I thought the library was a fun place, but we were even harassed at this library, this local library, because these people are just really cruel and low lives. And I really don't care what people make of me if they ever heard me say this, because they know who they are, you know. And sometimes it's like there's no reasoning, because there's no reasoning with people this beastly and this self-involved. And it's almost as of late that most people that I talk to, they seem beastly and self-involved, you know. And the thing is that I really feel more intelligent than the lot of them, and it's like lame, because I think, what have I really accomplished? And really, like, there's such better people in this world, but why must I be like immediately surrounded by complete assholes? You know, because I go on the internet and I see there's like real people there, and I want to be like that loser. Like, please, you know what, help us, send us real intelligence.
So no public services ever gave you a sense of like, okay, this didn't work, nothing.
What do you mean, what didn't work?
No, like a caseworker who can connect you with some resources for you or for your son. Libraries are not okay. YMCA, maybe something.
There's no YMCA here, so that's just like.
There is a Y on 136 or 133rd Street. There is a Y. On the school basis, there are multiple things. I'm not aware of them at all because I don't work at schools.
It's like, it feels like true your hostility. Like, is this going to be enforced really, or is it in the end going to bite you in the ass that you told me to go somewhere unsafe? You know, because I'm thinking, I'm sitting here thinking, oh fuck yeah, I love going out, I love people. I just hate it when people like know who I am, or they think they know who I am, or people are following me or surveillancing me or trying to manipulate me. That's different. That's very different. And I absolutely cannot stand it when people put things in my food or my son's food or in my hygiene products.
Well, do you think life of social isolation by choice, do you think that will be an option?
I'm not isolated. I wish I could be. I'm not isolated.
But if you don't want to connect with them, you say you like going out, but you
How
like
can I? How can I connect with people that are using me?
So everyone who you ever met, you're trying to tell me that everyone who you ever met anywhere is trying to use you.
Not true. No.
So how? It's a lot of statements that are not connecting with each other enough.
I don't know how I feel like we're being playful right now, and it's like, I wish an authority would come and investigate and say, oh, well, who are the FBI agents that are involved on Ilona Ramazanov's case? You know what? Who knows? Because we're being really playful and we're talking about like vague things, and again, it's coming back to like, I'm emotionally inept or something. That's not true, because I feel like, you know what? If you give me space and if you give me like actual food or something, I could be like more productive than these people. I really don't know how like this whole community functions with the level of hostility they have. I bet you it's also just racial. Maybe it's because I'm white I'm experiencing this. I bet my money on it. That's never going to get proven either.
Well, weren't you part of this community since day one?
Exactly. But I can't really say like South Bronx. There's like Puerto Ricans there too. I can't say that was a much better community either. I just happen to think that, you know what, I'm not. I don't think there should be like a slew of FBI agents that, you know, are this ghetto in the FBI. They could stay in the ghetto and find some other function, because, you know, like they're really out of it. They're putting shit in the food. They're picking on moms.
We will need to talk more about it, because you see, you're saying a lot of different stuff, a lot of different aspects of your life were affected by it, but there was also not a single statement that is solid.
Exactly. I feel you on that. I absolutely feel you on that, Anna, because I demand that my friends in the FBI, they get some real solid evidence for themselves, if not for me, because this situation's getting out of hand. My son is growing, and you know, people tend to start being dysfunctional when they start denying that they're social animals. And again, this is why I pointed this question at you. Do you ever feel like you're in service to some sort of dystopia?
I don't. I can tell you that I feel like it. Well, I hope that you know that it's 4th of July, there's going to be hopefully quieter in the city.
It's my daughter's birthday. Do you think that's like awesome, or do you think that's like weird?
To have a birthday on a federal holiday, it's cool. You have a day off. I like it.
Because I feel like even though like I didn't raise her or something, I feel like this is like very eerie, right? That she's born on like the 4th of July, and I'm having all these political issues. It's that sort of strange, but this doesn't really make me feel like bad per se. But as far as like you know, questioning like how far people can manipulate people with magnetic resonance, you know, and I don't know how these machines work, but I was gonna actually ask you, do you like go on the internet or anything? Do you know any websites, since you know what you're sort of like not intimidating me by telling me I'm paranoid? Do you want to talk about this sort of stuff? Like how does this machinery work that they use to their surveillance equipment? It's much more than a microphone, because I know that they are much more like capable of electronic surveillance. First of all, because I've talked to the police about electronic surveillance, they have very little funds, and I know the FBI funds are fucking enormous, and I really, some of them deserve to be doing better things.
About surveillance or equipment first, and second, because our time is over for today. So I honestly, I don't know. B, even if we continue this conversation, so you tell me more. We don't have enough time for today.
Okay. I mean, I'm gonna go on the internet and look it up, but it's like sometimes I go on the internet and there's this like hard up like blind spots, just like blockage. Like a lot of people believe also in reverse racism, and that's like a common issue, and the internet is just dissing on it. It's just saying no, only white people could be racist, black people could never be racist, stuff like that, you know. And the magnetic resonance machines that, you know what, like people like wearing the tinfoil hats or whatever, that's as far as it goes. That's as far as that clue goes, and that's as far as I got.
Let's try to talk about that, the machinery and the systematic racism next week maybe, because right now we gotta finish up.
Okay, I'll go and be a little bit like nervous, not paranoid, because I know you have the authority, sort of.
I mean, I don't have authority that you think I have.
I feel like, you know what happened here in like my situation in particular, and then a lot of the, sorry, I'm like going into your next appointment or whatever. A lot of New York City is these people got fucking confused and they lost their authority, including the police, and you know.
Well, politics is a longer topic, so let's try to pick up on that next session.
Okay, take care.
And